Given the prize is Premier League promotion, Jedinak could be forgiven for putting the World Cup and leading Australia to one side for most of this month. But Jedinak burns passionately with the desire to lead his country, and while he will give his all for Villa in the coming days, he will also have in his mind the fact that his teammates will be working, training, preparing and practicing without him in Turkey. Jedinak knows that he is a certainty to make the final 23 in the starting 11. There are a number of others whose place in the squad can be taken for granted, the three goalkeepers, Matt Ryan, Brad Jones and Danny Vukovic, given that few coaches ever go to a World Cup with just two in case one of their choices gets injured. Trent Sainsbury and Matt German also loom as certainties, given the way Van Marwijk spoke about how much he wished he had them available following the 4-1 debacle in Oslo when, in his first match in charge, Australia leaked like a sieve, and the central defensive pairing of Mark Milligan and Milos Jedinak with Bailey Wright at right back had a torrid evening. Wright has already paid the price, the others are likely to be reprieved, but they won't be able to take anything for granted. Aziz Behich was one of the few players to have a decent game against the Norwegians, and he was also fair against Colombia in London 4 days later, so he looks nailed on at left back. Aaron Mooy, Tom Rogic, Andy Jurek, Australia's lone centre-forward, Matt Leckie, Massimo Luongo and Jackson Irvine should all make the cut easily enough in a squad stacked with midfielders. The Socceroos' dearth of scoring options is the only comprehensible reason that veteran Tim Cahill is still in the reckoning after playing less than an hour in the past 6 months. Tim Cahill has sorely lacked game time in the past 6 months. Photo op: Australia's poverty of options plus Cahill's own extraordinary record means that at 38, he still has a chance to make history by playing in and scoring at his 4th World Cup. Robbie Cruz, who missed the last World Cup through injury, should be there when the final squad is named. Often a fan's whipping boy, Cruz is a smart player who has proved himself in Germany's Bundesliga for years. Given that Fran Karasik has never even been to Australia, never mind played for the Socceroos, there seems little point in including him in this squad unless he is to be used at the World Cup. The options at right back are thin. Josh Risdon has yet to make the position his own, while Josh Volante has played there but is better known as a midfielder, although it is hard to see him getting into a midfield berth ahead of the more established internationals named above. Dimi Petratos didn't really do a great deal in his sole international appearance in Norway. In the same game Andrew Nabout made his debut, he working hard and doing enough to get another go against Colombia. He has a good attitude and a terrific work rate, and that might be enough to secure him a spot in the 23, although it's hard to see him in the starting 11. James Troyese's inclusion surprised some, as did James Meredith's. The latter could make it by virtue of Van Marwijk needing a backup for Behich. Troyese scored the winner in the Asian Cup final, but that was more than 3 years ago. He is a skillful, clever player but doesn't always produce what he is capable of. Mark Milligan is, like Cahill, playing in his 4th World Cup, should he get selected. Like Troyese, he was not a standout for victory early in the season before his move to Saudi Arabia. He had an ordinary night against Norway, but was better against Colombia. His versatility and experience might save him. Nikita Rukavitsya is quick and his return from the wilderness was something of a surprise. But he has not been given much game time, and if it came to a choice between him and young Melbourne City winger Daniel Arzani, then it is to be hoped that the latter is picked. Arzani is one of the brightest young talents to emerge in this country for a long time, and his ability to beat opponents and dribble into dangerous positions means he could be a very useful weapon late off the bench. Michael Lynch, the Age's expert on soccer, has had extensive experience of high-level journalism in the UK and Australia. Michael has covered the Socceroos through Asia, Europe and South America in their past 3 World Cup campaigns. He has also reported on Grand Prix and top-class motorsport from Asia and Europe. He has won several national media awards for both sports and industry journalism.